Emma, are there any new developments into the investigation into Mitchell's business dealings?
So I reached out to the Mecklenburg County District Attorney's Office as well as the State Bureau of Investigations. They said that the investigation is still well underway. No timeline quite yet on when they're actually going to get to the bottom of this or release any new information. But before we get into the weeds of the investigation, I want to get into the background on why this is all happening in the first place. So here's the thing, guys. James Smuggie Mitchell resigned from the Charlotte City Council in January of 2021. Now, because of this, he became the CEO of RJ Leeper, and he maintained 25% ownership in its parent company, Bright Hope Construction. So he got fired from his CEO position at RJ Leeper, but according to him, he kept his ownership in its parent company. So the investigation was launched because of his ownership in this company, and it's Bright Hope Construction. Now, it's in direct violation, though, with the state's conflict of interest law. So North Carolina law says a city councilman can't own more than 10% of a company that does direct business with the city. So Mitchell has openly admitted to still owning 25% of Bright Hope Construction, which regularly contracts with the city of Charlotte. So there have been contradicting statements on Mitchell's ownership stake in Bright Hope Construction. Mitchell says he owns 25%. Bright Hope Construction says he defaulted on their $375,000 loan and therefore doesn't maintain any ownership. So I asked Jeff Marshall, who you just saw in our piece, who was in the thick of Mitchell's campaign when I first started asking these questions months ago. So take a listen to Jeff's insight into this whole controversy.
Would you say he's leveraging his position on council to get that money from Bright Hope Construction?
Definitely. I think, there would be no other alternative, because if it wasn't, then that means there was criminal intent. I mean, I'm not a lawyer. I don't pretend to be one. But if you're going to swear in and you own 25% of a business that has city contracts, then it falls just like it did a few years ago when he was said, hey, you need to step, you either give up your shares or you've got to step away as city council. So there's no other alternative here than, I think at the time he was honest with me, and I think it's still the same case today. He's hoping that they'll buy him out, and thus, he would have got something for free.
So this whole thing puts Bright Hope Construction in a tight space because they're making millions of dollars off these city contracts. And by having him on the city council, if they were to lose those contracts, that would be a loss of a ton of income for their employees, management, all that type of stuff. So it puts everyone involved in a really uncomfortable position.
Emma Withrow, thank you so much for your coverage.